So you're thinking about getting into the snow removal business. In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the reasons you may not want to get into the snow removal business. Now, this is not to say that you shouldn't get into the snow removal business. I have a snow removal business. I like my snow removal business, and I make money in my snow removal business. But there are some downsides to the business. Just like in any business, there's negatives, and I'm going to go ahead and be real about what those negatives are in this video. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the pros in a separate video, but in this video I'm going to talk about some of the cons of the snow removal business. So the first con is a very obvious one. It's that you have to work in the cold. Duh, right? It's the snow removal business. Well, let me just go over it real quick so you get a better feel of what that actually looks like. So in the wintertime, you have to work when it's bitter cold outside. You have to work when it's snowing, in blizzards sometimes, when it's windy. You have to work when it's ice rain, when it's raining. You have to work when it's slushy and when the snow is melting. You have to work in all these conditions, and they suck sometimes. You're gonna get snow in your face. You're gonna get snow down your shirt. You're gonna get sweaty, and then that sweat is gonna cool you off and get you extra cold. It can be a pretty rough business, to be honest with you, working out in the cold for hours and hours and hours at a time. It's doable, but if that's not your cup of tea, then this is definitely not the business for you. I mean, again, obvious one, but just thought I'd go over it. So con number two, another obvious one, and that is that this is physically demanding work. This is not easy work. This can be very tough. This can be back-breaking work sometimes. You're going to have to shovel, you're going to have to use a snow thrower. Even if you're using a plow, it's still fairly physically demanding. I would assume. I don't actually use one, but from what I have seen on the internet and stuff, it's not easy even with a plow. But if you're using a shovel or a snow thrower especially, this can be very physically demanding work. And it can be pretty tough. I mean, I come home from working sometimes and my back is completely done in, and I have to go out the next morning, and it's part of the game. If you're not up to working up a sweat, do not get into the snow removal business. So con number three is that there is only so much work you can do in one day. So with the snow removal business, this is kind of how it works. It snows and you go out the next day and you take care of all your customers. Now, this is different than, let's say, the lawn care business, in which you can schedule work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and every day go out and do a different route. That's not how it works in the snow removal business. In the snow removal business, you do the same route every time you go out. So if it snows on Monday, you're going out on Monday or Tuesday, and you're working, and you have to do all your customers in one go. So you can't set up multiple routes. I mean, unless you have different trucks, of course. But if you're just a solo person, there's only so many driveways you can do in one day before you burn yourself out, or before it just becomes too late and nobody needs their snow shoveled anymore because it's already taken care of. So limited amount of customers you can actually handle in a snow removal business. So con number four is that this is a commitment. If you're afraid of commitment, do not get into the snow removal business, because once you sign up a customer, they're going to expect you to take care of them from the beginning of winter all the way to the end of winter. So if you are not into that, if you think maybe you want to bail out or something, do not get into the snow removal business. It is a commitment. Once you sign up that customer, you have your work cut out for the next 3 or 4 months or whatever it may be where you live. So something to consider. So con number five is that this is a repetitive business. Every day you go out, you're doing the same driveways over and over again, and it might seem like you're going crazy because you're saying, didn't I just do this yesterday? So, if you're the type of person that likes, variety, and they like each day to be sort of different, not really the business that you should be getting into, because the snow removal business is very repetitive. You're sort of doing the same thing day in, day out, and that's just the nature of the business. So con number 6 and 7 are the biggest cons of the snow removal business, and let's get into them. Number 6 is that this business is a gamble. It's unpredictable, and that is because the weather is unpredictable. You don't know if there's going to be a lot of snow or not, which means you don't know if you're going to make a lot of money or not. Even if you run a flat seasonal rate, you still take the chance that you're going to get a lot of snow and not make as much money as if there wasn't a lot of snow. If you charge by the by the snowfall, you run the gamble of it not snowing very much and you not making very much money that way. So no matter how you dice it, the snow removal business is unpredictable and it is a gamble. So number 7, related to number 6, is again, this business is unpredictable, which means your schedule is unpredictable, which means you don't know when you're gonna have to work, which means you might have to work on your birthday, you might have to work on Christmas or New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, you might have to work on the weekend when you thought you were going to see a movie. One year I decided to go down to Niagara Falls with my woman for the night, and it started snowing right as we left, and the whole time I was on vacation, or whatever you want to say, a day away, I was checking my phone every half an hour to see how much snow had fallen, because I didn't know if I had to get back to town to get back to work. So if that is unappealing to you, definitely stay away from the snow removal business. But with all that being said, there are pros to all these cons. There are counterpoints to all of these. So if none of these has discouraged you, maybe go check out the pros to the snow removal business and see, and maybe this is the business for you. Again, this is not meant to discourage you unless this discourages you. If it does discourage you, if any of these points sounds awful to you, don't get into the snow removal business. But if you're still interested, go ahead and check out part 2 to this, which will be the pros of the snow removal business. Thanks for watching. Peace.